Good evening, thanks for joining us. You can barely drive through an intersection without seeing one. It's election season in Prince George and signs are cropping up across the city. Today, some well-known local politicos joined the council race. It's a staggering statistic. 1 in 9 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. It's still the most common cancer among Canadian women. This Sunday, dozens of communities across the country will run for the cure. Prince George is one of them. Such a fun event, and great news, it looks like the forecast is calling for sunshine on Sunday. Probably tomorrow morning, it's a good idea to bring an umbrella. Well, that's our show for tonight. Thanks so much for watching, and for news anytime, visit our website, ckpg.com, or connect with us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a great evening. Celebrating Prince George's history with the man himself. Mr. PG has waved at residents and visitors alike since 1960. Today, Prince George Heritage Commission unveiled a new sign next to the city's mascot. At first, Mr. PG was downtown. It was meant to be a symbol of the city's forestry heritage. Since then, Mr. PG has taken part in the 1963 Grey Cup celebrations, had his own stamp from Canada Post, and even his own Facebook page. The signage is part of the city's centennial celebrations, even though he's not that old.
He's almost a senior. You know, what is that? It's over 55 now.
BC is pioneering a new cancer treatment, and soon it will be available to patients in Prince George. For nearly a decade, a research team has been testing T-cell therapy. Now the BC Cancer Agency is starting a clinical trial. That story at 11. The vision is to turn this back alley into an art walk, because compared with a plain wall, murals are much less likely to be covered over in more graffiti. For downtown Prince George, it's a matter of getting enough funding to make it happen.
Guilty. Cody Lejabokov, convicted on all 4 counts of first-degree murder. But for the family of one of his victims, Natasha Montgomery, the verdict isn't enough. Natasha's body was never recovered.
And I want to remind the public to please keep an eye out for her remains. We will have satisfaction when he lets us know where Natasha is and gives it back to Luann. She needs her daughter back. And I wish there was the death penalty because I'd love to see him go through it. Slowly, very slowly.
An eye for an eye. Okay. And I all the time I was in that courtroom, I just wanted to grab him.
Not easy to sit and listen to his granddaughter's killer and his make-believe about accomplices, Mr. X, Y, and Z. When the verdict was read, Lejabokov was totally still, no reaction at all. But the community is remembering the victims: Cynthia Mays, Natasha Montgomery, Jill Stachenko, and Lauren Leslie.
The disappearance and murders of these 4 women were not only difficult for the families, but the greater community and support service groups here in northern BC.
They were loved. They're missed. There's a child without a mother. We have suffered so much in the last 4 years, I cannot begin to even verbalize adequately from my heart. And we miss them. And how they went was horrendous.
For many of the victims' family members who've been in court every day of this trial, this is the result they've been waiting for.
The mandatory sentence which the court must impose in these circumstances is life in prison with no possibility of parole for 25 years.
From the killer's arrest in 2010 to the verdict, victims' families have made it through with the support of friends, Carrier Sekani Family Services, and RCMP.
You have no idea what it means to us. If it wasn't for the people being behind us, we'd be in there all alone. Just a handful of us.
Natasha Montgomery's grandparents remember their girl as a talented figure skater with a beautiful singing voice. Because today is about the memory of 4 women and walking evil being locked away. Camille MacDonald, CKPG News. From teaching a high school science class to learning how to handle a nail gun, This wasn't in Mark Hunter's plan.
Roofing, no. Leaving it back together.
Until this year, these 4 friends and colleagues had been doing roofing and reno projects for friends and family. This is where the strike has led them.
Got to pay the mortgage and whatever else, put food on the table sort of thing. So that was kind of one of the factors that kind of pushed us to actually kind of go legit this year.
They say all season they've been busy.
We started off just a couple of us doing it and then added a few more, so we've just built with our group of friends, built from there and enjoy doing what we do.
It's tough. I mean, we all like teaching. We all teach because we love to teach, and it's very difficult to be working for an employer that really seems like they don't like you back. So it's a good reason to have this on the side.
When these teachers started Pro 5 roofing, it was supposed to be a summer job. But with the strike and lockout, now this work is helping keep them afloat.
The teachers' union and provincial negotiators are set to meet on Friday. It'll be the first time the two sides have come together since late June.
I want to say to parents, to students, and to teachers that we can still reach a negotiated settlement before the end of summer so that school can start on September the 2nd.
Not great. I follow what's on the news and the announcements from the government, and it doesn't seem like they're really interested in having schools open in the fall. So it's extremely stressful for all of us.
Daryl Beauregard's wife is also a teacher. He says this summer, at least he's been able to make back their lost wages. His family isn't alone.
They often have second jobs, whether they're serving or some other line of work. People do what they need to do at times like this.
Right now, these teachers don't know what to do.
How do we start looking at September? Do we start trying to find more roofs to do, or kind of lean back a bit and see what happens? Yeah, it's pretty uncertain, and we just don't know which way to go.
Whether that's back to class or on to the next roofing job. Camille MacDonald, CKPG News. He's nearly twice her age, but over the last year, this 11-year-old has learned how to handle Rudy.
He knows, oh, green, and he just goes, he whinnies so loud. And if you go, Rudy, 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 and you don't have any green, he'll go, just get some hay from you. He whinnies, such a good boy.
These two are ready to head into the spotlight. In her first year of the 4-H club, Brooke Larson says she loves the training clinics and competition the most.
Then the shows, you get prizes and be excited. And yesterday I had my first show and I won, and it was awesome.
This year there are around 90 kids competing at the BCNE.
It blows my mind how happy the kids are, and this is what they look forward to. It's hanging out in the dirt and the manure, and and they couldn't be happier being dirty.
Whether they choose to train horses or raise livestock, young participants can also take away leadership and public speaking skills.
They're actually doing it and learning as they go rather than reading it and then try doing it.
This year is a real milestone. 2014 marks the club's 100th anniversary.
Oh, it's incredible. It doesn't really dawn on you until you think 100 years of this program in BC, and it's one of the longest running youth programs.
Even when she's standing still, Brooke Larson says she's learning.
Seeing other people do what you do and see how they do their own techniques, and it's kind of cool to be interested in different things.
Whether or not they take home another trophy, Brooke already has a plan for next year.
I would recommend it for other people to go in it. It's really fun. Because my best friend, she's going to take him, and I'm going to take one of my other horses that are brats. And then she's going to go in with him, and it's going to be fun.
Camille MacDonald, CKPG News.
Not too shabby, definitely, Aileen. It has been warmer and sunnier than usual so far this fall. But there is a low pressure system that's still spinning off the Pacific coast, so that does mean wet weather for some of BC, especially the Okanagan today was quite hard hit by that. But luckily not us, no. Our province and Alberta, though, are seeing some showery weather. but gorgeous through much of the rest of the country. Especially hot today in Regina. Saw a high of 32 degrees. Wow. Very summer-like weather, actually right on through the east. High of 23 today in Ottawa and sunny skies and even more sunshine and warm weather into the Maritimes. Now, it was a wet day, as I mentioned, in the Okanagan, and over the next 24 hours, it looks like most precipitation will be concentrated to the south of us. We should, though, squeeze in one more sunny day before finally northern BC gets its share of the wet stuff. Hi, Camille MacDonald here from CKPG, downtown on 3rd Avenue. It's a beautiful afternoon, and we are here for a great cause, the Ice Bucket Challenge. Rich Abney did it yesterday, and I'm here with somebody else from CKPG, and we're gonna step it up.
2, 3.